Bye.
Now, there are two moves that the left always pulls with these sorts of things, very familiar, and they're already pulling these moves here. In this case, where they say to any critics, like anyone like myself who criticizes the inclusion of a gay subplot, what they'll say to us is, number one, why do you care so much? Why do you care? Why do you make such a big deal out of it? And then the other thing they'll say is, this isn't political. There's no agenda here. It's just they're just showing that gay people exist. Well, neither of those narratives are going to hold in this case because of this. You can lie to yourself all you want, but you cannot drag me into it. And so it goes for pronouns. If I intentionally call Bugs Bunny she, I have lied. I have conveyed something that isn't true. Despite my polite intentions, all I've done is contribute to the confusion, dishonesty, and intellectual chaos rampant in our culture.
I said, the places you must go and the things you must see, my stars. And I'll bet you meet a lot of interesting people.
E-Online Story says, the inclusive storyline has been a long time coming. In 2019, a petition called for the show to feature same-sex couples so children at, quote, an impressionable age can be educated on them. Right, because this is what you want when you have your 4-year-old watching. You want her to be educated on same-sex couples, rather than being educated on, 1, 2, 3, ABC, that sort of thing. No, you want them to be educated about sexuality.
What are you wearing?
Well, except that first of all, single-parent households and different sex two-parent households are the normal. Those are the normal households. So just like statistically, it's just a fact that those are the normal arrangements in our society and, in fact, in the whole history of human civilization. That's a statistical reality.
Where do I get the wabbit?
What would you want with a web?
This one, if your child made this, first of all, you would steer them away from art classes because you realize this is clearly not a skill that they have. It's not worth trying to foster. And second, you'd probably call a therapist because this is the kind of thing that a patient at a mental asylum would scribble on the floor of the bathroom in their own bodily fluid. That's what that is. And I don't mean that as a compliment. And it all goes to show beauty is not in the eye of the beholder. Maybe we could put that to rest once and for all. If you think that any of this is beautiful, that's not just an opinion. You're wrong. You're objectively wrong. This is garbage. This is trash. It's nonsensical. This is ugly. This is boring. This is dull. Why am I looking at this?
Maybe this will give the illusion of a waistline. Ugh, you are one ugly woman.
So let's start with, there isn't a definition for a woman. Well, to begin with, then, stop using the word. You cannot use a word if it doesn't have a definition. If by your own telling it has no definition, then what are you doing using it? Anime is satanic. Anime has a satanic vibe. All that matters is that, as I said in response to a live question someone asked, anime is the work of the devil. That's my truth that I live in every day. Now remember, drag is burlesque for gay men. That's what it is. I mean, that's the history of drag. It's adult-oriented. It's highly sexual by its nature. And that's why when you look at a lot of these drag queens for the Drag Queen Story Hours and the names that they have, even the stage names that they choose are clearly sexual in nature. See, this is why it's so important to have a father in the home. To say, hey, take that thing off. You look stupid. Get that thing off of you. The fact, the absolutely undeniable, indisputable fact, which is staring us right in the face, is that the cultural powers that be really desperately want your kid to be gay or trans or some variation thereof. And they are going to do what they can to make that happen. But they won't admit it. Instead, they'll tell you that all of this, pride parades and pansexuals in schools, in shows for 3-year-olds, non-binary pronouns on cereal boxes, etc., all of this is about inviting kids to be themselves, they'll say. It's about inviting the 3-year-olds who are already trans or gay or pansexual to simply come out and live their authentic truth. Now, if you're still buying that line, then you may be a hopeless case. I don't know what to tell you. I can't force oblivious people to use their brains if they've gotten so comfortable living without them. The identity that our most powerful cultural institutions want a child to adopt is a negative identity. The message to the child is simple. In a way, it's simple. Be what you want to be who you want to be, but don't be straight. Don't be, quote, cisgender. Don't adopt any values or worldviews or ideas that your grandparents may have held.